Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is February 1st and the energies in the day adds up to number 11 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So we're in the month of February, and being in the month of February, I feel like, of course, you know, springtime, Aries season is the beginning of the new season, the new year energy. I feel like February is what will feel like, you know, the year has started. And the reason why I feel that way about February is because February is the second month and we are in a 8th year. And February 2024 adds up and reduced to number 1 vibration. So within the month of February, a lot of us can start to see fruits of our labor when it comes to certain things manifesting, coming through, having tangible experience when it comes to things. And then for others of us, February could be that breakthrough month where we have that sense of clarity, that clear thought when it comes to something, that clear thought that serves as some kind of a breakthrough, that clear thought that shifts our perspective. Because for me, everything starts with a perspective. First, you know, you have the thought builds up emotions, and the emotion serves as magnet, and they start to pull things towards us. And also, you know, we're projecting things out. And with the month of February, and February being the second month, the number 2 energy also plays, even though the number 2 is a feminine, introverted energy. I guess I always think about how the number 2 puts things in motion, but it puts things in motion in more of a feminine sense, like when you plant a seed. So the number 1 is the thought to plant that seed, and the number 1 is the seed itself. And then the seed meets the soil, and the soil is that number 2 energy. It's like being in an incubator. It's like being in the womb. So it's like things are manifesting and moving forward, even though it's in an introspective, introverted, feminine sense. So the month of February, I feels like a powerful month. And I love how it starts off with the number 11 energy. The first day starts off with the number 11 energy. And to me, when I think of the number 11 energy, it's like, in my mind, I'm thinking of some kind of like cartoon, and I'm seeing like a bunch of little rabbits or other animals, like we need to hurry up, we need to get going. It's almost like this sense of urgency, trying to meet some kind of a deadline or something to that. But the month of February feels promising. The month of February for me would almost give me this spring type of feeling. It's like things are springing into action, things are moving forward. So I feel like, you know, the month of February, a lot of us have a lot to look forward to, whether we're finally seeing things move along and having tangible outcomes to things, where it feels like, you know, this feels like the beginning to the new year, where it would almost feel like January. It's like January was the month where you're sitting in a waiting room and you're waiting to move into, you're waiting to go into the event or go into the place, or it's like a Zoom meeting. You're in the waiting room waiting to become a part of the event or whatever it is that you're joining. January felt like that. And I feel like February, it's like you enter into the space. So for some of us entering into the space, It's finally tangible results and outcomes when it comes to things. And I think about how even this month we have the new moon in Aquarius and Pluto entering into Aquarius, and that transit has been so magnetizing to me. It's like, for me, it's renewed my love for astrology. Yeah, it's like, it feels like a renewing of the vows between me and my love for astrology, because I feel like it's calling me, it's pulling me. There'll be so much to speak about when it comes to it. But, you know, yeah, February 2024 feels good. It feels like, wow, finally for someone it clicks and it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to go back to school for. For someone, finally it clicks and it's like, okay, this is how I'm going to change me and my family's life. For someone, finally it clicks and it's like, I've been working so hard towards this thing and I've settled with the thought that maybe certain things just aren't for me. And February, it's like, the universe is like, I didn't forget about you. You know, things take time, and not even take time for the sake of things taking time. I think of life as this big orchestra, and it's like, say, for example, someone wants to manifest love in their life, and there's so many options at the moment where you're located that's available. And it's like, location don't even matter, but there's so many options available at the moment based on your frequency and where you are in your growth and what you're attracting, what you're manifesting, what's needed for you, and also to what's in alignment with those people's paths, the paths that they're meant to have. Like, in my mind, I see us all here as like soldiers here on our own unique missions. And, you know, your partner is someone that their mission needs to be in alignment with yours. So it's like, things take time, as, you know, they might be going through something and they're getting over the addiction. I don't know why the word overdose came to mind, but they're getting over their thing that they're going through and whatever. And they're going through certain things that are necessary in order to shock them into the truth of who they are. And you're going through things. And it's like, you know, we're all getting prepared, and the preparation is what takes time. And when it comes to the spirit animal guiding our message for today, we have the mouse energy. And with the mouse, I see the mouse in so many different ways. I see the mouse in one way of being cautious and aware of, say, someone having information and holding it back, or someone, you know, I think of like the whole false prophet vibe when I think of the mouse, someone pretending to be someone that they're not. But then also when I see the mouse energy, I think of feminine energy in the sense of being gentle, being patient, and approaching things in a way that's not forceful, and how that's not the way that's necessary in order to get things done. And when I look at, say, the energies in the day, the number 2 is present because it's the second month. So just the number 2 being present brings a feminine, sensitive, emotional, introspective vibe to the month. And the day being the first, the number 1 brings a masculine aspect to the day. You know, it's an I am, where we're reflecting on our identities in different ways. I am this, I am that, or I want to be this, or visioning different things in our minds to use to tell our story in the sense that identifying with different titles and images. And to a certain extent, you know, sometimes seeing how those things could complete us, even when we're convincing ourselves that that's not the case. But the energies in the day adds up to number 11. So with the number 1, with the day, a bunch of thoughts and our ego, our identity, and who we are. The number 11 can amplify that energy. And to me, the number 11 could be an intense energy in the sense that the number 11 to me has its magical faculties, in the sense that I see it as, it's like a combustion of energy, and energy is not bad or good. It's about how we use that energy, how we wield that energy. It's like water. Water is not bad or good. It's what you do with water. Water can nourish, and then water can harm. It's all about what we do with that water and the state of that water. And So when I think of the number 11 energy and I think of the day, it brings me to this feeling of impatience. But at the same time, the number 11 energy to me, like I said, it's a lot of energy. And if a person doesn't know how to wield that energy can pretty much, like, I think of like something like an autoimmune situation where something attacks itself. So the number 11 energy, if a person lacks the confidence and the discipline to make certain things happen, that number 11 energy can be like that autoimmune situation where a person attacks themselves, because that number 11 energy, like the number 1 energy, is masculine energy, and it needs to be moving forward. It needs to be doing something. So whenever we have all these thoughts, and the number 1 represents thoughts, whenever we have all these thoughts and we're not doing anything with them, when I say thoughts, I don't mean just random thoughts. I mean seeing, like, callings is what I would call it. Callings meaning you can see yourself taking on a certain role or having a certain responsibility, but fear and insecurity stops one from making it happen. I feel like that could be so haunting to a person. When it comes to the energies in the day, we have the moon in Libra, and it's a part of a T-square. So we start off the month with the moon, the inner world, feeling restricted and challenged. But the moon, the inner world, is in Libra. It's in a place where we care too much about what others think. We're nurtured by our relationships in the sense that how we relate to each other. And the first thing that comes to mind is comparison is the killer of joy. And I bring that back to the number 11 and the number 1 energy, because the number 1 is the I am, it's the identity. So with the number 1 energy, it's natural for us to look out into the world and look for representations of ourselves or whatever it is that we aspire to be, to give us permission or confirmation, we'll call it, in certain situations to take action. And with the moon in Libra, you know, we're nurtured by our connections and the representations in our lives that encourage us and empower us to make things happen. But the moon is a part of a T-square between Pluto and Jupiter in Taurus. So when I look at the T-square that's being made to the moon, first of all, Jupiter is the ruler of the day, and it's at 7 degrees in Taurus. And Jupiter energy is an optimistic energy, but at 7 degrees, we're reflective when it comes to our level of optimism pertaining to security and stability. And that's squaring the moon. So our inner world, you know, we're in a position where we have a hard time today possibly seeing how we're lucky or how certain things are going our way when it comes to creating security and stability for ourselves. We're deep into reflection mode, trying to make sense of things. And with the moon squaring Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto energy brings truth in the sense that with wherever Pluto is in your chart, it's like you can't lie to yourself about that. And if you lie to yourself, to me, it's like seeing people with Pluto or Saturn on their ascendant. Those people, to me, if ever they're living their lives in a way and they're BSing themselves through life, they'll have a harder time than most, for the simple fact that Pluto will, it's like every time they build a fake castle, Pluto will knock it over. Like Saturn, Pluto, Saturn knock over their castles that they build, castles that aren't built in truth. So with Pluto in Aquarius, you know, these are our fixed thoughts about friendships and connections, and it's squaring moon in Libra. So I think of moon and Libra energy where we go along to get along. We, you know, our social connections, we put so much weight on them, make them mean so much. With Pluto and Aquarius, like, they can't be fake. Like, we can't get together and phony kick it. We can't get together and pretend to rock with each other when we really, really don't. And I feel like maybe the mouse energy might play a part in that, in the sense that with the mouse energy, it's like certain things are being revealed when it comes to friendship, friend groups. Certain things can't be overlooked. Like, you can't deny it. You can't lie to yourself about it, or you can't get up and keep pretending in situations where you felt like that was your only option. Jupiter is positively aspecting Saturn and Pisces and Venus and Capricorn. So the positive aspect that's being made to Jupiter, even though our moon, our inner world, is in a stressful position with the T-square being made to it, and like I said, the T-square being made to it to the moon, to me, it's like the inner world stressed out and reflecting about ourselves in relations to others, the groups we associate ourselves with, and the role they play in our security, our stability. But the positive aspect being made to Jupiter, like I mentioned, Saturn in Pisces and Venus in Capricorn, those energies bring me to optimism when it comes to organizing our dreams and going after our goals and our legacy. So there's two things that I'm feeling when it comes to the energies in today. There is this challenge when it comes to how am I going to make things happen in relation to my peers. Maybe something about peers or community or stability or family. It's like something about that feels challenging, scary, or conflicting. I feel like with Libra energy, moon in Libra, not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting to ruffle any feathers. I think of some of us, how we're so used to like playing ourselves down so others could feel comfortable, so others could feel seen. And that's being challenged today. But then there's the other side of us that's optimistic about making certain things happen. But at the same time, like, we need each other. We can't do it alone. So it's a matter of finding balance when it comes to that. I love though how the moon in Libra positively aspects Saturn and Pisces. So the inner world is in a place where it's like, you know, reflecting on balance and creating balance, and Saturn and Pisces creates that practical, structured way of doing things, of bringing dreams into the tangible realm. We have the Hermit as the tarot, and the Hermit brings me to reflection and introspection. So with the Hermit and the mouse energy both coming up together, this energy right here would bring me to the Hermit. I think of hermit mode. I feel like I'm always in hermit mode and I'm ready to go outside. But like the Hermit energy is like introspection, reflection. So there's something very reflective about the day. And with the mouse energy pairing up with the Hermit, I'm getting to take things slow. I'm getting to step into what I mentioned, that whole feminine, reflective, observant energy. I'm getting that to be forceful today when it comes to these energies. But I'm getting with the Hermit energy, the answers that you seek exist within. And I know for a while when I used to hear that, that's not what I wanted to hear. That's not what I clicked on this video to hear. I clicked on this video for you to tell me. But over time, I guess only time. I know there's more to it than just time, but I guess only time a person will see that everything they need is within them. There's only so much people outside of you can say. And I think of the number 11 energy for today, where it's like only time and I guess awareness, a person could see with that number 11 energy that you don't need to wait for permission in order to take action, in order to make things happen. When I see these energies here, I think of reflection, introspection, but then someone taking their time to go about and do what needs to be done. It's like, I'll show you better than I can tell you. So it's like allowing people to see it when it's done, instead of going around to everyone and trying to get their permission, even though we don't realize that's what we're doing when we go around to everyone and vent, as we call it. Such a pleasure sharing this message with you. If you'd like to book a natal chart awareness coaching session with me, or become a part of the monthly meetup group only available on Patreon, and check out the exclusive weekly content that I post on Patreon. The link to book with me and check out Patreon is in the description box below. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a red and an orange heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.